All right, did you try it? So if you want to, I'll go ahead and go through the answer here, but or you can fast forward to the end and check your answer. All right, so first of all, I'm just going to draw that standard right triangle that we talked about, the 45, 45, 90 triangle. All right, so we have a 90-degree angle, 45. So then the other one has to be 45. And the side lengths are 1, 1, square root 2. Okay, the hypotenuse is the square root 2. So we just want to set up our ratios. So if we're trying to find side A, that corresponds to one of the legs. So corresponds to a side length of 1 on that standard triangle. And then, okay, this time we're given the side length of 5, and that corresponds to the square root of 2 on the standard triangle. Okay, so now we just solve for A, and you're going to get that A is just going to be, well, it's A over 1. So we really already have it solved here. We don't have to really do any algebra because A divided by 1 is just A, and so we're just going to get 5 over the square root of 2. Okay, so so you can just leave it in that form. Or a lot of times with irrational numbers, there's a convention to rationalize the denominator. So if you have an irrational number in the denominator, which square root of 2 is an irrational number, it's good practice to rationalize the denominator. Now to do that, we're just going to create an equivalent fraction, which means that we can multiply by 1, and we're just going to choose a 1 that allows us to get the square root of 2, rationalize the denominator. So if I take square root of 2 times the square root of 2, I'm going to get 2. So this fraction is equivalent to 5 square root 2 over 2. So that would be the fraction with the with a rational denominator, because now that 2 is no longer an irrational number. Okay. Now I'm okay if you leave it as the 5 over the square root of 2. But it's good to know how this works, because sometimes you might see an answer and it doesn't match what you have, and it's like, oh, it may just be that they rationalize the denominator. So, all right, so let's go ahead and do the other one. Now, the other one, now we can just use the fact that this is an isosceles right triangle, right? So there's really nothing to do. We can just say that B is 5 over the square root of 2. Or we could write that as 5 square root 2 over 2, just like we did up above, if you want to rationalize the denominator. Again, those are equivalent fractions. It's just that the 5 square root 2 over 2 has a rational denominator. All right, so I'll meet you in the next video.